540 ESPN.
We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks. You see, KYJ, things have changed just a little bit since the last time you were here.
I think you should see your oculus. Nothing wrong with my feet. I'm talking about your eyes.
I can even make my ass do tricks. Watch this. You have any idea where you are? You're in the jungle, baby. This is WCW. That's right. Hold on.
For over 10 years, the world's #1 source for professional wrestling news and information. And once again, here's your hosts, Damian Nelson, Frank Cosentino, and the man they call Meathead. This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and streaming live at ESPNMilwaukee.com and PWRshow.com. Coming here from the beautiful downtown Milwaukee studios of 540 ESPN, live on Monday, April 12th, 2010. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David the Hero, the Skull Crusher, Rashi Brown, and the man they call Meathead. And, gentlemen, an epic.
Italian?
What do we just have? We just had 5 hours of wrestling.
Ridiculous.
5.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
5 hours of wrestling. I got the singing part.
5 hours of wrestling, so a lot to talk about, and a lot of hot news tonight as well. And also a guest, Traci Brooks, former TNA Knockout and Playboy model. Traci Brooks will be joining us in just a few minutes. Thank you to all of you joining us wherever you may be, and we will be entering the Airtran phone zone later on in the program. Write the number down. Get ready. It's 800-990-ESPN, 1-800-990-3776. Or locally here in southeastern Wisconsin at 276-3776. Again, that's 276-3776. We're going to be referencing comments from those of you following us on Twitter and sending us your tweets throughout the show. Our Twitter name is PWR Show, and we've got a lot of those already with people's reactions to some of the things that happen on both Raw and Impact tonight. So first, let's talk about the Monday Night Wrestling Wars for this evening. And we'll start it off with the new product brought to the world today, which was TNA Reaction on Spike TV, airing 1 hour before Impact. A bit of a introspect, I guess, into TNA wrestling and some of the behind-the-scenes stuff between some of the major angles going on, including the Pope, David, in TNA wrestling as we go into lockdown this Sunday on pay-per-view. We did learn...
What's the main event for the pay-per-view?
Well, with your semantics, would you like to tell us what the main event is?
I'm just
the
asking.
main event, as billed since January, is the Pope versus AJ Styles.
I think the way the match and the way the show ended tonight would paint a different picture for the main event. The headlining main event.
Pope was out there.
That's not who closed the show. I saw Hogan
so
staring down
by
Flair.
a frame. Yeah, okay.
Doesn't matter.
Ric Flair, who should have never gotten out of that wheelchair.
Yep.
Not for at least another 5 months.
Well, no.
Seriously, remember how long Vince was in that wheelchair in 1998?
Dead by then.
He's wrestling Sunday in the main event.
I hope he gets hurt again. Well, quote-unquote hurt.
That's evil.
Quote-unquote hurt. I don't really wish any ill will on the man. But we were talking about TNA Reaction. Initial feedback that we've gotten has been mixed. But, David Hero, of what you saw of TNA Reaction, what are your thoughts?
You know, it was kind of like watching an infomercial, you know, just as a way to sell the product a little bit better. And I think a lot of people are going to appreciate it because of all the behind-the-scenes stuff that you saw. You know, once again, it tries to get an emotional investment from the viewer into the product, into the talent. I thought it was well done. I don't know if it delivered the way everyone had hyped it up last night when they were tweeting about the preview of it, but I thought it was a solid show. Right direction for them.
A couple of followers on Twitter said the following things about TNA Reaction. Laura said it was cheap-looking and pointless. Universal 101 is the username, said, I think it's good. I like the documentary-style interviews and even the subtitles. Nice, cheap, quick show to produce. The official XWR said pretty good. Echo X860 said watched a few minutes, then went back to 2.5 Men. The Rose Show says it's okay. And
wait. I missed 2.5 Men?
Apparently.
Damn.
I am a wrestling fan username on Twitter said, awesome and innovative. So a lot of good reviews of the show. Here's the one piece of feedback I would have on it is it seems to be a show that is better to immediately follow Impact, and I don't know how they would ever do that because it had so much backstage stuff from just after the matches. And we were talking the other day, actually, about the WWE who used to do those pay-per-view wrap-up videos after the pay-per-views, where a little bit of surprising info about that is generally when they were airing those, they were still editing the end of it because obviously they would start right after the main event. So first reactions, first thoughts on TNA Reaction, Rashi Brown.
I must live in a cave, so...
I think it was announced 3 days ago.
I didn't even know this thing existed.
No, you got to press the A-B button a little bit faster.
No, that's only for pay-per-views.
Oh, is that how that works?
And porn.
Meathead, your thoughts on TNA Reaction?
No clue.
I thought you had a free box that scrambles that
No, would you stop with that?
Even though he has a box, he still needs to know it's on to descramble it, right?
Exactly. That and
you don't follow Dixie Carter on Twitter?
Rashi's not even.
They've
on
been
Twitter.
telling you on Impact for the last, 2 years.
Rashi's not even on Twitter.
Exactly.
Oh, I mean, Twitter people are asking if he's going to be, in the studio, and I have to take pictures of him to prove that he's in the studio.
Oh, yeah, that's why you took the picture of him.
This was a pilot.
I'm not the one that thinks it. Never mind.
This was a pilot, Eric Bischoff said, about this show, and we'll see if Spike TV picks it up. And when we come back, TNA Knockout, former TNA Knockout, Traci Brooks will be our guest live. This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report and 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, streaming live at ESPNMilwaukee.com and PWRshow.com. Thanks for tuning in wherever you are all over the world. Damian Nelson here along with David the Hero, the Skull Crusher, Rashi Brown, and the man they call Meathead. We're live Monday night, April 12th, and our guest right now, former TNA Knockout and Playboy model, Traci Brooks. Traci, welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report.
Hey, Traci, what's going on?
Not much. How is everyone?
We're happy to hear from you.
Good. I'm happy to be heard from.
Well, not only will you be heard from tonight, but you'll be seen this weekend coming to town for some big Great Lakes Championship Wrestling shows, trying to get your hands back on that Ladies Championship.
That is right. I can't wait. It's always one of my favorite promotions to go to. It's always been run a class act. The fans are amazing. It's a great show, a great time, and some really good workers. So make sure you come out and see me because I need that title back. I need something around my waist.
Well, I'm here.
Apparently, Rashi Brown wants to be your new heavyweight championship belt.
Yeah, he's been trying for a long time.
Oh!
I'll be famous someday.
Me too.
Well, Traci, you got 2 shots to win the title. Friday night in Racine, Memorial Hall, and then again the next night in Waukesha. And it looks like Melanie Cruz is going to be taking the place of the current GLCW Ladies Champion as he was in a car accident, and his attorneys will not let him step in the ring, but it's a shot for you to finally...
Really?
Yes.
Was he really in a car accident?
Yeah.
Well, that's what he's telling people.
Without going too deep, he is an accident? Isn't that what...
I won't go there. Well, let's just say I'll win it back on Friday, then I can defend it on Saturday. How about that?
There you go.
I like that.
Yes.
Well, Traci, you spent a lot of time traveling all over the world doing a lot of these type wrestling shows and conventions. Tell us a little bit about life on the road right now since your departure from TNA Wrestling.
It's actually it's really hectic right now. They're really great. I mean, I'm doing a lot of independent wrestling shows and doing a lot of these conventions. Actually, I have one coming up in Pigeon Forge at the end of April. I'm actually going to the Cauliflower Alley Club this year, too. It's my first time going there in Vegas, so I'm really excited to do that.
Jim Ross being given an award, I think being inducted or being that award being given to him by Steve Austin.
Yeah, that's right. It's just cool. I've never actually got to go to it before. I never had time, so it's actually great to actually go there, and gotta love Vegas, too.
Oh,
well,
yes.
If
greatest city.
If my memory serves me right, I believe some guy named Frankie Kazarian he won the Future Legends Award.
Yeah, I think I know him.
Yeah.
I think so.
So There's a rumor that he might be there also then, huh?
Yeah, I think he might be there. I might run into him right there. I'm not sure, though.
Well, that's a class event. One that a lot of people don't know a lot about, but many consider that to be the true Wrestling Hall of Fame and the true governing body, if you will, over professional wrestling.
Definitely. I mean, it's just a really cool experience. I've always wanted to go ever since I got into wrestling, but I just never had the chance, or we've been working or whatever. So this year we actually planned it so we actually get to go. We're actually only getting in there Wednesday for the dinner and the award ceremony, but still it's great just to be there. It'd be really cool to see everybody and just, see how it runs.
It's a blast. You'll enjoy it.
And I'll be poolside at the Hard Rock for the remainder of the day, too, so I won't see that either.
Is that where the rehab party is?
Yes,
also
that
at the Hard Rock?
is totally where it's stayed.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Damien is one of the fine connoisseurs of Las Vegas.
4 times a year.
Or the rehab party. Which one is it? Yeah.
I love Las Vegas.
It's a great time.
And the Hard Rock is the best hotel. I don't care if it's not on the Strip or anything, but to me it's the best hotel.
They got shuttles.
Yeah, exactly. They have tabs.
Who wants to mix with all those tourists on the Strip anyways?
Exactly. My point exactly.
Now, Traci, since you've taken a step back from TNA Wrestling, have you been paying close attention to what's been going on between the two programs, WWE and TNA on Monday nights?
Definitely. I mean, we DVR both programs every Monday nights, and I'm a wrestling fan still at heart, and all wrestlers are. We're all wrestling fans, and I think everyone should watch both programs. Yeah, but Dancing with the Stars is on, so I had to watch that.
How did Pamela Anderson do tonight?
Oh my God, she's so amazing. Like seriously, she's just incredible. Good Canadian girl too, so she's amazing. But no, we watch Dancing with the Stars, and then we tape TNA Impact and WWE RAW. So that to support my friends and my family, and we just want we want wrestling to do well. So everyone should watch it.
So, and you're saying, and it's enjoyable hearing this, and something that a lot of people have struggled with is you want both shows to do well.
Exactly. Why wouldn't you? I mean, it's competition, and you want your friends to do well, and you want more. But that's the one thing, especially when I got let go. A lot of promoters wanted me to bash TNA, or people wanted me to talk negatively about TNA, and they were great for me for 7 years, and they put food on my plate. Obviously, I met my husband there, and it's been nothing but a great experience to me. And these independent promoters and independent wrestlers should want TNA to do well, so they have somewhere to go. Mm-hmm. And that's what I don't understand why people bury it. Yeah, sometimes it's frustrating, and I'm sure everyone's job is frustrating. Like, I don't care what you do, from being a janitor to a farmer to an accountant. I'm sure everything's frustrating, but, you should want this product to do well. If you're passionate about this business, you should want this product to do well, whether it's TNA or WWE, or if another promotion comes up like Great Lakes. You should want it to do well and support it.
It's funny that you mentioned farming and accounting. I did that all in 1 week. I was on that show, Dirty Jobs, no?
I was a farmer, yeah, so.
Well, Traci, we look forward to seeing you this Friday night in Racine at the Memorial Hall at GLCW Attitude.
Where are you? What day is it?
Tickets available at blizzardbrawl.com for that show, in addition to Saturday night in Waukesha at what many are now calling the GLCW Dome, the Waukesha County Expo Center. Huge matchups there, and, of course, Traci Brooks making her return to GLCW.
Awesome. Please come out and see us. Support your local indies and support wrestling. Please, just, let's get wrestling back on track, and more people that watch it, the better.
Well, Traci, thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you this weekend with Great Lakes Championship Wrestling.
Thanks, guys. Behave yourselves.
We don't know how. Thank you very much to Traci Brooks, former TNA Knockout and Playboy model. You still got those pages bookmarked, Meathead?
Well,
good thing they're on the internet
together,
now.
What does that mean?
And if you can figure out a way to make that happen on the internet.
About OJ, Meathead.
Oh,
no.
Hey.
I'm not the guy that found Damian Nelson, and then Damian Nelson found you. I'm glad you guys found each other. That's not me. I like the ladies.
What are you talking about?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Damien and Dave had a moment backstage while they were watching the Pope on TV.
Backstage?
Yeah.
I heard.
Nobody said anything about the Pope.
Yeah, or backstage.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
See,
they had a moment.
You're making stuff up again.
Twisting words, you Republican.
Go team Nelson.
Well, thank you very much, Traci, for coming on. And let's get back to talking about the shows from tonight, both TNA Impact and WWE RAW. First, let's start with WWE RAW. David Hasselhoff was the guest host tonight from London. It made sense.
Because he's huge over there.
He's huge over there, yes. I was hoping, though, that he would have a cheeseburger and try to eat it or something.
Wow. Start screaming, yeah.
Was he drinking?
You haven't seen that video?
Of course. That's just terrible.
That's the one where
What's
he's yelling
terrible
at his
about
daughter,
it?
right?
He was made famous here in the States for that video.
No,
He was
made
famous
again. He was made famous again for that video here in the States.
Knight Rider made him famous.
Did he borrow that jacket from Bobby the Brain Heenan? That's all I'm wondering. He had a sequined suit jacket
Honestly,
on.
I think he bought it from the Ric Flair garage
Woo!
sale.
Woo! Why is he on a garage sale? What are you saying? What do you mean?
He had a garage sale.
Do you think he was the one going up and down the street putting those little flyers around the light post, too? Do you think Ric Flair did that? He's walking down the median in the street, go, woo, 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 garage sale, woo.
We have a brand new Divas champion, and the former champion is Maurice, and the new champion is Eve.
How about that?
How about that?
Isn't that awesome?
This is historic.
How so, Rashi?
Who cares?
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the David Hero over moment.
Hey, man. I said 3-4 weeks ago?
You did.
Eve was the next superstar diva on Raw.
You may have alluded to that at one point.
You always got to take everything Hero says with a grain of salt, though, because what's her face? Alicia Fox should have been champion.
She should have, but politics.
But it didn't happen. But nobody watching wrestling wants to care about the politics. They just care about the product on the TV.
Politics within wrestling. They care a lot about that. That's why they listen to shows like this.
I understand that, but what I'm saying...
It's all about news, gossip, and rumors.
Hot news. Speaking of which, hot news, Caliente news coming up when we get to hot news later on.
You know what's frustrating?
Fuego.
We don't cover all the wrestling around here, though.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. We
don't have
talk about
enough time.
SmackDown. When was the last time we talked about SmackDown?
Is SmackDown a show on TV?
It's with your world champion, Jack Swagger.
Swagger!
Who's on SmackDown now.
Yeah.
Because he's in the new Open, so.
We talk about Ring of Honor.
When?
All the time.
We talk about
When?
During commercial breaks?
We talk about it.
That's talking about.
What was the last time we talked about SmackDown?
SmackDown, it's been a while since
we
talked
about
about it because we were setting up.
Punk is doing great.
We were setting up for Money in the Bank, and we were talking about Dolph Ziggler, actually.
Dolph Ziggler is doing great on. He beat the great Khali 2 weeks ago. Beat up Josh Matthews.
John Morrison, R-Truth.
John Morrison is doing great.
Yeah, John Morrison, R-Truth together.
I honestly, I can't even tell you what day SmackDown comes on.
It's on Friday.
But on what channel?
Put it this way, SmackDown is going to get bigger and better. But that'll be in hot news. But yeah, you know what? Congratulations to Jack Swagger.
Swagger!
Our SmackDown World Champion.
Not my champion.
Who is your
SmackDown
champion?
has long been the better show of the two WWE weekly shows.
Oh, no.
In my opinion, it's long been the better. You get a good amount of good wrestling on that program, something you don't get on Raw.
But that doesn't make it good. Just good wrestling doesn't make it a good show.
So what does?
An overall entertainment factor.
Good wrestling entertains me.
Okay, in your opinion, you're right.
When was the last time you watched a full SmackDown?
Or Raw?
I have.
It wasn't tonight.
I have. Yeah, it wasn't
No.
tonight.
I said, when have you?
Within the last month.
And you didn't think SmackDown was a good show?
I thought it was okay. I thought it was average. The last full live SmackDown show I watched was obviously the one here in Milwaukee, and that was an amazing show.
See,
live effect, the live factor added into it.
Well, you were just ecstatic because Jericho was on all the time.
No, dude, The Miz was on all the time. Jericho wasn't on all the time.
Well, he is awesome.
Wasting of time.
The Miz?
Wasted time.
He's a superstar.
He's very talented.
He needs to defend that U.S. title pretty soon.
Exactly.
Has
it been 30 days?
It's got to be up by
6
now.
months.
It's ridiculous.
It's
ridiculous.
Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about.
Eve is the new Divas champion on Raw. And speaking of The Miz, him and The Big Show came out to declare that they were the best tag team in WWE history. Well, one man had some words to say to that, and that was the Hitman Bret Hart, who comes out and then brings out D.H. Smith and Tyson Kidd, the Hart Dynasty. It becomes a one-on-one match between The Miz and D.H. Smith. D.H. Smith not able to win. The Miz awesomely wins that matchup. Therefore, Bret Hart must next week declare that The Miz and The Big Show are the greatest tag team of all time.
Hands up.
Hands up.
Why didn't they just wrestle each other as a tag team to prove it? Why did you have a singles match to prove who's the greatest tag team?
Because before that, if you would have been watching the show.
Well, now, wait a minute.
You would know
Hang on, Jack. If I'm Mr. Me that didn't watch the show and you're telling me what happened, this is all the information I have.
I'm going to tell you here.
So,
it's heating here. It is currently 81 degrees here in the studio, by the way.
Yeah, ever since
Really
Megan came in the room.
All the lights are on bright. We had to shut the door.
Well, listen, here's what happened. It's right before then. Bret Hart says the last time he was here, he wrestled Harry's dad, the British Bulldog.
Yep.
So they wanted to get the British Bulldog his own one-on-one match in jolly old England. That's what they were doing.
I biddy.
It was a good segment.
Okay,
and
another question.
Yeah.
Did they really, Big Show and
Miz?
Did they say that with a straight face? With the?
Oh, Miz said it with the straightest face he could say it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he had a smirk on his face?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say a quarter smirk, yeah.
Now we're gauging it by percentile?
No, by fraction.
Okay. Perfect. Fair enough. Fair enough, sir.
Well, on that note, this is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
If you will.
Yeah. I didn't know you did such a good Dusty over there.
Baby.
A little bit of American Dream Dusty Rhodes there.
Polka dots.
That was a good time.
Get back here, Sapphire. Get back here.
Now, look, if they were to take somebody as great as Dusty is, in this day in professional wrestling and done to him what they did to him when he went to WWE, imagine the backlash.
No, he'd be Santino.
Yeah, pretty much.
No.
Well, tell us like Dusty would tell us. How would you do?
See, the thing is, Dusty Rhodes wouldn't be like he would be back then today because I don't have the body that the people want to see on the television. You know what I mean?
But, he knows someone that has the body that they want to see.
That's why they put my son in my spot on the television. You understand me?
Who's your son?
His name is Goldust. Oh, I mean Cody Rhodes.
I really think if they were to do that in this day and age, the IWC would revolt against WWE or whoever did it. How dare they make a comic book out of the great Dusty Rhodes? All right, whatever.
Well, they did it with Kerry Von Erich also, and they called him the Texas Tornado.
But not to the degree of Rhodes. He wasn't wearing polka dots.
No, he wasn't.
He had tassels on his boots. That was about it.
They took my boy Terry Taylor and stripped him of his pride for life.
But
you know what, though? But Terry Taylor's done very well since then.
That great program he had with Heenan, though. Remember that match on Saturday night's main event? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, squash.
Yeah.
We're going to be.
Well, no, that was WrestleMania, wasn't it?
No.
No, that was never
not
a WrestleMania match.
No.
That's right. That was Terry Taylor versus the Brooklyn Brawler at WrestleMania.
Blasphemy.
We're going to be answering the Airtrans phone zone in just a few minutes. And if you want to participate, the number 276-3776 or 1-800-990-ESPN. Continuing talking about WWE RAW from this evening.
So we're done with SmackDown talk?
Nah.
David, what would you like to talk about SmackDown last week?
He's segment jumping again, David.
No, that's fine. We can, we'll talk about Raw.
He's segment jumping. Don't we have that in Hot News?
We'll do Hot News.
His gimmick,
SmackDown.
isn't that his segment, his gimmick?
He wants the whole show, man.
Oh, okay.
Evan Bourne defeats Carlito. Carlito, who then tells Vladimir Kozlov that he wants back to SmackDown.
Wow, did you just see how you jumped over that match result?
Evan Bourne defeats Carlito.
Evan Bourne.
I'm just a reporter. I'm reporting what happened.
Future star Evan Bourne.
He's a star now. Evan Bourne's a star. Why are you trying to portray like I said he wasn't a star? I never said that.
Well, you did. You said
I
Cody
never
Rhodes.
said he was not a star.
You don't got to get hot about it. We're just having a conversation.
81 degrees in here.
We're just having a conversation.
I never said Cody Rhodes wasn't a star. I'm sorry, that Evan Bourne wasn't a star.
Wait, never mind.
That's where Dusty would have jumped in and said, "Oh no, my boy
I never
is
said
a
that.
Star."
I compared him to another superstar.
You said that Evan Bourne was not a big star. That's what you said.
Much like Ronald Reagan, I don't recall that.
Wow.
What is determined big?
Well, there's many different ways you could say it.
David measures it by merchandise sales.
Yeah.
Look, he's got a T-shirt.
So,
That's a loaded
well,
question.
no, I mean, I'm sure that Evan Bourne merchandise sells far more than Cody Rhodes.
Oh,
does.
it has.
Of course.
Yeah, I think I sell more T-shirts.
Thank you. I do. Hey, you know what I heard? That there's a Skull Crusher collage out now too, 8x10.
What?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. What?
How about that? Which you can buy this weekend at the GLCW shows in Racine and Waukesha.
Hold on.
I have to wrestle this weekend?
That's what he's confused about. Not the collage.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world of David Hero.
What do you think? Come on. You knew about that. It's going to be a hot show.
You didn't even know you were booked, huh? Yeah, well.
Against Electric Eric Freedom.
No wonder it's sold out. I'm on the show.
Yeah. BlizzardBrawl.com for Rowdy Roddy Piper and Skull Crusher.
Yeah. Piper on the undercard.
John Cena versus David Otunga, who gets 2 weeks of Raw action. This time his opponent, John Cena, who he, of course, did not favor very well last week as he was the guest host. David Otunga, your thoughts around the room, starting with you, Meathead, the NXT star, the man who is engaged to Jennifer Hudson. Your thoughts on what we've seen of him so far on NXT and Raw?
I definitely like me some Jennifer Hudson. She's a beautiful woman. I like her a lot.
Come on, man. Get to what he asked you.
But
thank you, Rashi.
But David Otunga, he's got a look and a charisma about him that can get him over. I don't know if it'll work as a heel for very long. Instant hot shot, yeah, it works. As a Raw guest host, it works. I don't see that lasting more than 6 months. I don't think he's got enough steam behind him to make that work.
I know what you're saying. It's like it was cool and all right, but he's not comfortable with his role or himself yet.
He doesn't show any comfort.
Yeah, I mean, his character, you have to come a little bit outside of yourself, you know what I mean, to get it across on TV. And he still looks like a cool, nice guy, even though what he did to Cena was wrong.
Right.
He still looks like a nice, cool cat. You don't hate him or you don't go, oh, I want to.
That guy's a jerk.
Yeah, there's just a little bit something missing about him, but
as a heel.
Yeah, as a heel.
Yeah.
But
you don't think he looks like a good heel? That arrogance and everything about him.
It doesn't come across as very arrogant. It's not that arrogant.
It's not so hard enough.
I feel bad for the kid. I'm like, he had to do that to Cena to get his shot. I mean, I understand. I felt empathy for the man. I didn't.
And you're not supposed to.
I know, exactly. It's like.
So David Otunga's not a true heel.
I was like, that was pretty smart of him.
Oh, he's a true heel.
He's not. But
no one cheered for him. There wasn't one pop. Wasn't one cheer at all for the guy.
You get the point, though.
No, I don't. If there's not one cheer,
nobody cheers for you.
You get the point, though.
Just because nobody cheers for you doesn't make you a heel.
Very true.
Thank you.
But if everyone boos you, then what?
That means
you're not a true babyface?
You either are a heel
or a very bad babyface.
People just think you're a terrible face. Thank you for starting it up for me.
Wow.
David Hero.
You know what? I like Otunga. I think he has a long way to go, but I think you're right. He does look a little uncomfortable, but he'll get there.
But they threw him way, way, way high up the ladder too quick. I mean,
they had to capitalize on the mainstream media he's been getting the past week.
Has he been getting any?
Yeah, he's been on a bunch of different.
He's been on the side of somebody's arm.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's that guy.
But
is he like the Stedman to Oprah?
Here's the thing.
No, here's the thing. All right. No, wait a minute.
Brother, you're missing the whole thing. They paired him up with K-Quick.
All
right. Ladies and gentlemen, Rashi Brown.
Okay. I'm in the.
Turn the volume down.
I'm in the locker room with a certain company. And there's a legend there. I mean, a superstar legend.
What do you mean a certain company? WWE or Ring of Honor?
Whatever.
GLCW.
It might be. It could be any of those three big ones.
This is Rashi Brown.
And we're sitting there talking. And we're like, what do you do nowadays to get a chance or a shot? And he said, you know what, man? Best way for you to get a chance in this company is to make your name somewhere else as something else. And that's baloney. I mean, this guy is getting his pushed because he's somebody.
He push jumped. I mean, like
good for him, but it irritates me. Like, people don't pay dues. They don't do it. It's just,
you get it? He do jumped.
How do you feel about the Miz, Rashi?
He's paid. He's still proud. I have no problems with the Miz.
Now he's paid his dues.
Right. He's been in the business a long time.
Still carrying all 3 of those belts.
Yeah, and that's punishment for
Hope he doesn't fly. Hope he doesn't fly Spirit Airlines.
Whew. Yeah, that's like $100 a day, man. No, thank you. And don't have a connecting flight.
David Otunga, I think that's a valid point because there are a lot of those people, especially some of the divas who came from being seen in whether it be magazines or doing modeling work already, who got put into that role for what they had done previously. So that's a valid point. The question I ask, and you've alluded to this, is Otunga being pushed up the ladder too fast?
Yes, but he's not being used though.
But he's not groomed. He's not polished. You don't take your top spot to groom a kid. I mean, even that's where I was going. Even with Sheamus, I think that was too soon for him. He still can't. You can't leave Sheamus on his own with a younger guy yet. You can't.
But okay, do we honestly believe that David Otunga is going to stay where he is?
And that's where I get back to my
and
that's where I get back to my original point is he doesn't have the staying power as that heel to do anything in the business.
So you're saying once the buzz goes away, they're going to knock him back down and
No, here's the thing. They want to try to push the NXT show.
Right.
So like, okay, let's pick somebody off the roster of the 8 guys who can host Raw. Who has the best look? They're not going to use Daniel Bryan. Okay.
Because he doesn't have any mainstream media appeal.
Michael Cole said he looked deformed last week.
They're not going to use Wade Barrett, who I think is the star of NXT.
Look.
You know, so they got to go with someone that has a little bit. They're not going to use the suntan John Cena character. You know, whatever his name is.
The South African kid
that has the troll hair. You know, so they're going to use Otunga.
Oh, no, I was thinking of Justin Gabriel.
Because
you're thinking of the other one.
Otunga's the only guy that has any bit of look or whatnot that might want to bring people in to watch. Otunga's going to be up on TV for a couple of weeks, then he's going back to NXT, and then maybe down the road he'll get a shot again.
And to that point, we noticed something tonight. Carlito's been getting a lot of TV time.
To promote NXT. Here's the thing. I wish Otunga didn't have Ron Killings as his mentor.
Who?
K-Quick.
Oh.
That's how Damian recognizes him.
Did we discuss this on the air with my critiquing of the NXT show?
I don't think we did.
All right.
Meathead kept cutting me off.
Listen, New York, if you want to make money next year, why don't you have all those legends that work in your company be mentors to the next guys? You have Dusty Rhodes. You have Ricky Steamboat. You have Sergeant Slaughter. You have Arn Anderson. You have Dean Malenko. Why can't these guys be their mentors?
Dean Malenko.
Do you know how many people that don't watch wrestling would turn it on just to see those dudes?
Dean Malenko?
Listen to me. I'm talking to you. Make money. Steal my idea. It's okay. You do it all the time anyway,
Dean Malenko?
Right?
Yeah, and you know
yes,
who else?
Dean Malenko.
Yeah. And Billy Kidman's back there, too. You could put him with a young high flyer,
You put Dean Malenko with Daniel Bryan. You put or vice versa. Daniel Bryan's a good technical wrestler, so you put him with Arn Anderson to teach him, something else like power moves.
Yeah.
There's so many different combinations, and you have these guys that are there. They're not making them leave from somewhere else. They're sitting there in the back.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
And it'd be great. I'd watch it. Honestly, I'd watch it.
Just to see Stinko
Malenko
get out there.
I mean, listening to Arn Anderson talk is just you should just give him $50 every time he opens his mouth because you're mesmerized. He's teaching you every time he talks. He's teaching, and you listen, and you're like, wow, you just made everything so much simpler, and it would work. I'm sorry.
This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Nope. Fish on the board. New music this week. No, I'm not.
Turn him off! Okay, I'll turn the Miz off.
Thank you. Hey, you got a lot of electronic equipment. Don't make it do
Awesome! Really?
Hey, by the way, Fish, good job on the board. New different tunes this week. That's where you talk now.
There may be some old favorites coming up in the next hour, though.
That's fine.
No, I asked him to play, some Paul Simon for you, but he said no.
Paul Simon?
You can call me Al.
Great song.
Right? Isn't it?
Off the hook.
Sheamus, as we continue to talk about WWE Raw from tonight here on the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, Sheamus takes out Kofi Kingston, and I'm not sure I understand why.
Because he's no longer a top-tier guy.
That being Kofi.
It's amazing. The guy that was beating Randy Orton a few months ago gets crushed by Sheamus.
Well, that's called life.
Mm-hmm. No, it's called The Push Is Over.
Yeah.
Was that a push jump? Or
no?
Is that what you call that?
I think that's
he
like
jump.
That's kind of like a torch passing.
I will say this, though. Kofi did get a new T-shirt.
Or arm back down the ladder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. Randy Orton did it, too, after his first title win. I mean, he went back down the ladder.
Everybody goes up and down,
okay.
man.
Yeah.
It's okay. If people come back, he can come back as a bad guy.
There's no way Kofi can be a heel.
Are you kidding me? There's a way for everybody
He's too
to
happy.
be a
heel.
heel.
He smiles way too much.
We said The Rock couldn't be a heel. Look at him. Oh, he's too cute. He could never be. And then
I never
what
said
happened?
he was too cute.
Dave,
yes, you did. I was
Dave,
there.
I think you spent like $8,000 on Rock memorabilia.
I did one day.
In one day.
And we had 1,000 people talk for him.
In one day.
Uh-huh.
On Raw tonight, the Baywatch-themed Divas match. The best part of it, I think we would all agree, were the entrances.
Yeah. The Gail Kim entrance was fantastic.
The slow-motion entrances, and then the guest referee, Santino Marella, choking on his whistle and saved by Hornswoggle. It was comedic. It was actually one of the most entertaining gimmick diva things they've done in a while. I'm talking when you compare it to Playboy pillow fights and all that stuff. It was fun.
I just can't believe that they did 2 female segments, though. I mean, that's...
Why not?
Because they don't do that normally. That's all.
Well, it was a sum of about 7 minutes. So.
I gotcha, but...
In the main event, Randy Orton versus Batista, with Jack Swagger and John Cena getting involved. Batista, best thing about him right now is that spotlight gimmick he's using. And waiting for it and calling for it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
You don't like it?
I do.
Okay.
He's done ranting. You're done ranting for the night, huh, Russ?
Maybe.
We need a camera here. So when
you touch another
Crush...
subject, I will go off. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Keep your hands to yourself, meathead.
Oh,
now
listen.
listen.
What's with all the references?
Listen, you know what? We need a camera in here so when people see Rashi getting hot about things when he talks, how he pumps his fist and how animated he gets.
Maybe we can see it on PWR Primetime this Friday.
Huh?
Oh, you've been booked for that, too.
Come on, man.
Hey,
that's part of the
I'm not going to be
GLCW.
there. So I'm asking you to take my place on Primetime this week.
Where and when?
Well, we'll talk about that in the next break. We can't tell the masses where we do our shows because...
They'll start stalking Dave Hero.
Oh, no, I'm not going to be there.
Again?
Yeah.
I have to reinstate my security detail. That was WWE Raw. Let's go to the phones, and let's start with Gilberto in Florida on line 2 who wants to talk about tonight's WWE Raw. Gilberto, you're live.
What's up?
What's up?
Yeah, Raw, I thought both shows, actually, TNA and Raw, were good tonight. Both leading up, obviously, to their pay-per-views. I'm actually looking forward to Lockdown. I think it's going to be a good pay-per-view for TNA. I know people have been bashing it, but,
People like Dave?
No.
I have not bashed the pay-per-view at all.
Never.
I didn't. How have I bashed it?
Never, ever?
You know what, Gilberto, I'll let you finish, and then I'll defend myself.
Okay, well, you know what? Just to talk a little about topic, TNA, I think it would be better for them to not be worried about competing with WWE so much. I mean, because if you look since 2002, every year they've gotten better. They've gotten a bigger fan base. They've progressed better wrestling show-wise and production-wise. Just if they weren't worried about, WWE and Taz making a little, good God Almighty remarks every time and all that, it wouldn't be a big deal. They would still be doing okay and wouldn't be pressured enough because they're obviously not going to beat Raw because Raw is not pushing to be the #1 wrestling show because they're far from that. They're more entertainment now. It's not 10 years
Well, they're
ago.
still the #1 wrestling show.
Yeah,
They're not even trying.
For obvious reasons because of the history and all that. But TNA, I mean, they can do fine. But I think from watching it, I think they're doing fine. They're not really. They can do a little things better. Obviously, WWE can be doing a little things better too. But I don't think that TNA should just be so worried about trying to beat Raw every week.
Yeah. Go ahead. Here's the interesting point to that point, Gilberto. Thank you for that call. You know, so many people say it's about the ratings, and truly it is about the ratings, but it's about the ratings a little bit differently than a lot of people think. We've had so many people who have made it a point to say, "Oh, look, TNA got a .6, TNA got a .9, TNA got a point whatever. Oh, you say it's a war. Oh, look at TNA." You know what? They just got a brand new pilot on Spike TV. Spike TV is pleased with the ratings.
Damien, it sounds like you're defending TNA again.
I'm defending the process of a network.
As Damien, as I stated maybe a month or so ago, that .6 to Spike TV could be a point, a 4.0 to USA Network.
Yep.
And that's what people without a brain don't realize.
Wow.
Is that we're not competing apples to apples because WWE makes billions of dollars, TNA makes hundreds of thousands of dollars, so it won't be equal. It's what TNA does to satisfy Spike TV. It's not the competition between each other.
Now, I will say this, though. It is certainly true that there are people in TNA that want nothing more and think they can do nothing more than defeat WWE in the ratings.
And that is the fundamental problem with that company. That's the only problem, because if you were smart, you would have not gone on Monday night against them. You would go on a night that's free for everyone to watch your product. I understand you want to try to steal their fans, but you're starting before them now, so you can't steal their fans because if they're not watching your show, they don't know you're on an hour early. So,
you know what I wonder, too? I wonder, the buzz seems to have worn off from March 8th, from January 4th. The buzz out there in the Internet wrestling community and the wrestling community in general seemingly has worn off. I was listening to a bit of Hulk Hogan's radio show on Howard 101 on Sirius today, which was on at the same time as Reaction, and most of the people that called in to speak to Hogan asked questions about WWE.
Well, you say the buzz is gone, too, and I don't think that they're really looking to buzz around the IWC anymore. They're still looking to grab that mainstream market. And that's where, it sucks that Hulk Hogan right now is the face of that company.
Right.
As much as you don't want it to be.
TNA depends heavily on Internet news.
Right. They depend on it, but that's a small portion of the rest of the country.
But you say the buzz is gone, but they still drew like a .9 last week, right?
Oh, yeah, Shawn Michaels wasn't retiring.
Well, okay, so before that, their audience wasn't that big, so if this is what's left over in the first go-round, that's not a bad thing.
We are going to talk about TNA Impact and take more phone calls on the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Celebrating 12 years on the air and voted 2009 Broadcast Show of the Year. This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report here on 540 ESPN, streaming live at ESPNMilwaukee.com and PWRshow.com on Monday, April 12th, 2010. Lots of discussion so far about WWE RAW
and SmackDown.
Including our guest, Traci Brooks, earlier in the hour, or in the first hour, rather. And now it's time to get to some of your phone calls. If you want to participate in the Airtran phone zone, the number is 276-ESPN or 1-800-990-ESPN. That's 1-800-990-3776. Let's go to line one. We've got the self-proclaimed white machismo. Let's talk about WWE versus TNA. You're live.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, is this Fish, our producer, on the phone? No, I'm just kidding. What's up, white machismo?
I see it as WWE being McDonald's and TNA being the local burger joint Cops. Everyone knows who's got the better burger, but everyone's going to follow the corporation. I think the product is much better in TNA, and McDonald's, you get the McRib with Ortunga, and the Shamrock Shake with Sheamus every once in a while. But it never lasts. It's like for a month and it's gone.
Yeah,
and
man.
It's back to the same old double cheeseburger or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's an interesting analogy. Thank you very much for that call.
And sometimes you got to eat it because it's the only thing around.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Night Owl is closed during the winter.
Yeah, or WCW.
Let's go to line 3. Ronnie in Battle Creek, Michigan. You're live on the Pro Wrestling Report.
Hey, guys. So I keep hearing about this GLCW or the you guys
GLCW.
Yep. Great Lakes Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, when are you guys coming over the small pond?
You know what?
Over to Michigan.
We're working on it. Absolutely.
Hey, how much money do
Because
you
I'm
have?
from-
Wait. We could probably come. How much money do you have?
I don't got money, but I know people.
Those people get with our people.
Well, Roddy, you never know. I think you have a better chance actually of seeing Rashi perform with Ring of Honor.
I'll be in Dayton, Ohio.
And speaking of him, I'm Rashid. I'm becoming a big fan of yours. I've been watching you on Ring of Honor.
You're becoming? What?
Yeah.
You should be already. What
You're
do you
an
mean?
acquired taste.
Well, we did share a bed once.
Ronnie, thank you very much for that call out in Battle Creek, Michigan. And how fitting that we go to the next caller, Deshaun in Atlanta, who wants to talk about Orlando Jordan.
Oh my God.
Deshaun, what's up, man?
What's up, guys? I'm sorry I didn't catch the show last Wednesday, but I saw Orlando Jordan on TNA, and oh my God, somebody needs to leg drop Eric Bischoff for letting him come out and do that with that.
You saw the Got Milk spot, huh?
All right, man. I'm so happy you called and brought this up.
Here we go.
Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rashi Brown.
What the hell does this dude? What does this have to do with wrestling? If you're gonna do this, at least punch somebody when you're done. Don't do this and then walk away. Wrestle. Strip tease after. Do an infomercial and advertise you'll be at the strip club down the street after TNA goes off. But get off of the TV with the stripping and all this nasty, stupid stuff. Punch somebody.
Because that came out of nowhere. He just put, oh, man.
It's like, what's the point?
I didn't get it.
Honestly, it's a big
We're not
cry for
supposed
help.
to get it.
You're asking me, like, the world, please look at me. Please look at me.
And when you
look at me.
And when you say you don't get it, you're the voice of a generation. Trust me, we don't get it.
Hey, Deshaun, here's a question, though.
Okay.
Did you watch Impact tonight?
No, I didn't catch it tonight. No, I did not. No.
All right. So you're not at all intrigued by what this is? What is this? What are they doing with this Orlando Jordan? What does it mean?
I mean, maybe if they were to clean it up or make them something like a gold dust or something,
Yeah.
that cream thing was just over the top. Like, it was just crazy. I wish Sheamus would have came out with the pipe. That was crazy.
See, and you know what? You're not the only one that thinks that. People inside the company feel the same way. Like, what the hell were they thinking?
What's the point? It's like,
it was a left jab, is what it was.
Well, I guess a lot of men do go out and say, yeah, I'm really heterosexual. I guess that's called being macho. But, man, there's other ways of being bisexual and in a ring. I mean, what does your sexuality have to do with wrestling in the first place? And that's just, and I don't bash TNA too much, but this is just stupid.
It's cheap, I think.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is, Bischoff says controversy creates cash. Just bought 1,000 books.
And I told you he was
for
going to do that.
$1.98. You did say that, yes. Just bought 1,000 books for $1.98. He's getting paid 2 or 3 times on them. Yeah. Smart man. He is brilliant. I'll tell you that. Well, thank you very much for that call, Deshaun, down in Atlanta, Georgia, the site of WrestleMania 27. Let's go out to Steve in Heartland, who wants to talk about TNA wrestling. Steve, you're live.
Hey, guys.
Steve, you sound frustrated.
I am very frustrated. First off, let me be a little serious here.
For a minute?
Let all the listeners know that my name is Steve, and I'm a recovering TNA-holic. And what I mean is that,
You watch a show and you watch it over the years, and it's like a drug. It's like a drug. You watch it. You're a wrestling fan. You got to have it.
So you're chasing that high?
There are so many things that are bad for you, like a drug. You sit and you lay in bed. You're wondering, getting the sweats. Why are they bringing the Nasty Boys out? You can't fall asleep. What the hell is going on?
Watch the Nasty Boys.
You can't figure out what they're doing with this company. And I am starting a TNA rehab clinic. So anybody want to join? It's hard not to watch the TNA wrestling or any wrestling, but I have done it. I have not watched the TNA product for a good few weeks to a month now, and you too will not be alone if you join me. Thank you.
Steve out in Heartland, thank you very much for that call.
Wait a minute, man. This is not serious or satellite radio, and we're not talking about. Oh
no,
my
we're
God,
ESPN
dude.
Milwaukee.
Did I just hear what he was saying, or
I think the tone was he wants to and has
laying in
TNA,
bed watching the Nasty Boys
in his
not sleeping, and oh my God, man, don't talk to us like that, homie.
Well, at least wasn't saying he's watching Orlando Jordan.
Let's go back out to you. Thank you for that call, Steve, out in Heartland. Let's go back out to Michigan with Eric. You're on line 3. You're live.
Hello. I would like to know what the blue hell happened to Sanjay Dutt, one of the people that TNA released for what reason? Greatest wrestler out there right now.
He's in actually he works for Ring of Honor on occasion. I was just on a show with him about a month and a half ago, I believe.
See, that's the thing with TNA. They kind of ruined everything they had.
Well, you know what that's about, man.
I'm with Steve. I would like to watch TNA again, but at the same time, they've just killed everything that TNA was.
But, my friend, I understand your anger and frustration, but for that company to grow, they had to expand to a broader base than what they were offering their niche fans. And people don't like that or understand that, but that's life. If this wouldn't have happened, I'd never be in Ring of Honor because my style is nothing compared to what those guys do. But you have to introduce a broader fan base, a wider variety of things, and that's just part of business.
TNA killed a part of me, and now I'm watching Ring of Honor like crazy.
Well, as long as you're watching Rashi Brown.
Rashi Brown deserves the title. That's all there is to it.
Thank you for that call out in Michigan, Eric. Sanjay Dutt's a great talent. He was utilized in TNA heavily for a number of years, and has since been, as you said, Rashi, working with Ring of Honor. I think he might have been overseas for a while, too, wrestling over there. But a great talent, and we'll see where he turns up. We'll see where he turns up sooner than later. This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
This is Phil Hellmuth, Wisconsin native and God's gift to poker. Have an ego, son? And you're listening to 540 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, streaming live at ESPNMilwaukee.com and PWRshow.com. I want to make sure you go ahead and join our social media networks. We are on Twitter, each of us individually, except Rashi Brown, and also the PWR Show account, where a lot of hot news is broken. You can also join the Facebook fan page via the PWRshow.com website. Comments in the forum, some of which we'll be reading tonight. Got the live chatmosphere that goes on along with the live broadcast of the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN at PWRshow.com. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, which we have nearly 10,000 subscribers already. So join it, and you get notified every time a new episode of the Pro Wrestling Report is uploaded. And as a matter of fact, over the last 30 days, just about 275,000 people have viewed Pro Wrestling Report television.
They're all watching prime time, huh?
275,000.
They're all watching Linda Kay. That's what they're watching.
And also, don't forget to pick up the iTunes application. And for the next person who registers at PWRshow.com, we'll email you back with a free download code for that iTunes application. Next registered user at PWRshow.com.
Well, I got a BlackBerry.
I got a Whiteberry.
That
I got a Chuck Berry?
Neither of those. None of those actually.
Hey now.
Actually, will work with that. Let's go to our final caller of the evening out on the East Coast, Bowman in Boston. You're live on the Pro Wrestling Report.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Bowman. What's poppin'?
Going on. So, yeah, I'm watching wrestling. You know, the normal 9 o'clock comes on. I'm going on the PWI website, and they tell me TNA is on, and I had absolutely no clue that TNA was on, like, the last 2 hours. I had no clue.
They literally announced it maybe 4 days ago.
They made an announcement.
You don't follow DC Carter on Twitter?
Who?
Right.
Thank you.
That's how they get all their word out. So, you know, her 45,000 followers on Twitter and on Facebook and whatnot. But, again, I don't fault it, but the word didn't quite get out. I don't know if they got late approval on this or whatever, but they really didn't get the word out that it was going to be airing.
And does this count against the hours of programming that they said? Remember they said there was going to be extra hours of program from the new contract they signed with Spike?
Well, this was just a pilot, meaning it may or may not ever come back.
Right. Oh, that's
It'll come back. Yeah. They have to.
Bowman, what else you got?
I'm just hoping I missed anything Orlando Jordan did tonight. Hopefully he didn't do anything crazy or anything.
I'm not sure he was on.
You're looking forward to it?
No, God, no.
Okay.
I'm not sure he was
But,
on at all.
Ugh, stop.
You know, it's just funny. And David Hero, you can make the point. They can show what they showed last week with OJ, but they can't show a ball of fire going into the face of Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Are you
kidding
me?
I wanted to talk about that. I know it is. I tweeted out that was Hogan Warrior out at WCW Halloween Havoc. Which, if I don't know anybody knows what WCW is, Damien can remind us.
WCW is a defunct wrestling company that was purchased by World Wrestling Entertainment in 2001
for $2.
That was just hilarious. He blew smoke in his face, and it just it froze so randomly when I saw it on TV.
The best
it was
thing
hilarious. That was a great edit.
The best thing was they go, he just spit a flammable fluid in his face. No, came out of a beer bottle. It was beer.
That was hilarious. I thought Raw was really good tonight. I didn't get to see much of TNA, unfortunately, but it seemed like it was an okay show, but nothing spectacular. It just seems like I don't know what they're doing exactly. It seems like they're trying to redo or relive maybe somewhat of that shock TV, that crash TV that was going on in the 90s, and it's just, I don't think they realize it's a different television market now, and that ain't working.
Well, it's a different time. It was innovative back then because we hadn't seen it before as wrestling fans. Now it's pretty much washed up.
But when I think back then to when WWE was doing an edgier product, I think about TV back then. They were one of the few television products in general doing that, and I think eventually then when other television shows caught up, started doing the same thing. It's like a special effect eventually.
It's called evolution, and that's something that
Evolution
TNA has not done. You have those guys that ran the company 13 years ago into the ground, running the company now. How do you expect them to overcome that objection of not running this company into the ground with the same formula that they used the last time to run the company into the ground?
Here's one thing that's troubling, though. Hulk Hogan recently did an interview on that one show, that guy that was in the ring during the Wolfpack thing tonight, and said that the fans need to better embrace the changes that we're making, basically blaming the fans for turning their backs on TNA.
I think that's the silliest thing I've ever heard. Not that you said it, but Hogan's saying it's like telling your customers, you know what, you're bad customers. I want better customers.
You're not. He sounds like a promoter in the Mid-South. That is the exact word that would come out of this fella's mouth.
Bill what?
How can you insult your fans by saying that? They're giving you feedback, my friend. You don't insult them by saying, well, this is what you're going to get, and you need to like it.
It sounds like
or
what
you're
Vinnie
no
Mac
good,
does.
and you turn your back on us, and we don't want you anyway. That's pretty much what you're saying to them.
Yeah. Thanks for that call, Bowman, out in Boston. We actually have one more caller tonight. We're going to go out to New York. Mike, you're live.
New York City.
Hello.
Hello, Mike.
Yes.
Go ahead with your
Mike.
Okay, I have a little bit of an echo, sorry. I wanted to talk about Black Machismo, what he's doing. I think it's hilarious.
But at the same time, he's playing off all the old rhetoric and all the old stuff. But how do you make that new for the fans that may not know the stuff of 1985 and whatnot?
You don't want to make it new.
Thanks for that call, Mike.
Staying over.
That's the point. The only thing I didn't like is the Elizabeth references because
Elizabeth has passed on.
Yeah, and there's no point in that.
But so is so many other guys he talks about.
But he's talking like him and Liz were together and blah blah blah.
He's delusional.
Come on, man.
I thought he was absolutely hilarious tonight. Could have been one of the best moments of the night.
So great at, God, so great.
Oh, hey there, Mean Gene.
They're doing good things with him, and I like it. But this character that he does is so great. I wish Vince hates Randy Savage so bad. He should hire Jay Lethal just to
as a rib.
Just to make a better Randy Savage than he had. It's that good.
He was awesome tonight. Actually, Jay Lethal was. And who else did he reference? He called JB Mean Gene.
He called
Pope
Desmond Wolf, the model.
Yes, the model.
And then who did he call Dynamite Kid?
I don't recall. Yeah, but it was Dynamite Kid.
He called Desmond Wolf Dynamite Kid.
Yeah,
just because he's British, And who was he calling the model? AJ Styles.
Yeah, it was good stuff, and he's been doing that for about a minute.
Yeah.
And it got old for a little while. I'll admit that, but now I think it's
he's got new characters to play off.
To watch him and Hogan interact is money.
And the way they're using him, like during that promo, he just sort of popped in, did his thing, and then at the end, Pope and JB are just standing there, and then like, all right, and walked away. It was
Jay
good.
Lethal is the new Santino Marella.
No,
that's not a good
analogy.
I
think he's better. No,
he's entertaining, and that's the only way.
But that's the role that he's playing. Is the entertaining guy that just comes on, does his thing, doesn't really work in the ring too often.
No, because Santino, win or lose, you just feel the same way you do about Santino. They haven't really gone in a direction with Jay Lethal as far as push-wise what they're going to do with him. So that could ruin him if he went out there and got put on his back. And then,
Well, let's continue talking about TNA Impact from tonight. Jeff Jarrett and Sting open up the show, and here's the thing: if Jeff says he wants a fight with Sting and he's going to go make it happen, and Sting is hiding in the rafters, wouldn't Sting just leave if he didn't want the fight? You got all these cameras showing Jeff Jarrett climbing the camera.
That makes way too much sense.
Sometimes it should just make sense, though, shouldn't it?
I know, man. It would be so cool.
That whole thing, it's almost like it didn't happen. It felt with such a dud to me.
It almost sounds like you're anti-TNA tonight there, Damian Nelson.
What do you mean?
That means you haven't been fed on your catering bill? Haven't you been taken care of as far as getting chicken, as far as getting beef? I know you were at the taste test.
I am a broadcast journalist. I report things as I see them and what my opinion may be.
Don't fault the man for having an opinion.
Thank you, Rashi.
Yeah, that's my deal. It's
straight down the line.
Opinion pays more.
Call it right down the middle, buddy.
Thank you, Daddy.
Ric Flair, that promo, here's one thing that struck me, and I wouldn't put it past them to do this. You had Ric Flair, AJ Styles, Robert Roode, James Storm, and Desmond Wolf in the room. And a valet.
What's her name?
Chelsea.
Not Clinton. Do you think they might throw the Horsemen back at us?
Never.
Why not?
Because Vince owns that.
So what?
But
it
he owns
doesn't
the
have
Horsemen?
to be the name.
Are you sure?
He bought everything WCW.
Yeah, but not quite, because as you said with the Wolfpack, Jimmy Hart owned a lot of that stuff, and Horsemen, that goes way back far.
I hope they don't bring back the Horsemen.
Dude, they need to bring... Flair has to be J.J. Dillon. Are you kidding me?
Well, that's what he was in Evolution. They talked about that 5-6 years ago. So
don't like it.
I do.
I don't like it.
I don't know if
not having none of it, huh?
I don't know if I like the characters involved to be that group, but I
guess Desmond Wolf will be Tully Blanchard.
TV title?
And then
James Storm can be Arn Anderson.
Arn. And Rude is the pretty boy.
No, wait. Wolf can be Barry Windham. Rude can be Tully Blanchard.
Rude would fit there.
See, I think Rude can't be Tully.
No?
Who starts the crap? I don't know. That's AJ's Tully Blanchard. Are you kidding me? Even though
AJ's supposed to be Ric Flair.
Rude is Flair. Rude is the pretty boy.
Jay Lethal did reference Rick Rude tonight, by the way, as well.
AJ is Tully, man. You go in there, you poke somebody in the eye, and then you run and tag arm. That's what you do.
This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
540 ESPN Text Club members get the breaking news on the Packers, Brewers, Badgers, and Bucks. Sign up today at ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Vintage Fish. Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and streaming live at ESPNMilwaukee.com and PWRshow.com, where the chatmosphere is going wild. Simon 5150 in the chatmosphere at PWRshow.com saying they can be the young stallions. Paul Roma and Jim Powers aren't using it. Talking about our conversation
that was
about
a
the
good
Horsemen.
young tag team.
I know.
Young were they better than Strike Force?
No.
You can't compare the two.
All right. Paul Roma and Jim Powers, they were like so great, but they were just a hair from being so polished. I love them, man. They were just so cool, but they never got that push. And I know it's because Paul Roma is kind of like me. He's very outspoken. I'm sure he probably cost Jim Powers a few bucks.
Yeah, but look at Paul Roma though on Hercules, Power and Glory.
Yeah, but Hercules was
Power
a cool
and Pain.
cat, man. Hercules, the politics with him and Slick. I mean, he's a cool cat. You put them together, blah blah blah. But
we should have Slick on when we do a sermon.
No, man, I ain't into no sermon.
Hey, when are we going to the UK?
When are we going to the UK? More information on some big plans we have for the United Kingdom and all of our listeners and viewers over there. Coming up soon.
The great people are going to fly us there for free.
Absolutely.
That
so
airline.
You got your green card stuff all taken care of?
Oh, yeah, I can travel outside the border.
There you go.
But you're rotten meat.
Didn't you? Wait, whoa.
They don't take that rotten
You remember the
meat
meeting
over
earlier,
there.
right? He's not part of the tour.
Oh, that's right. We got the letter from Customs.
I can clear. Don't worry.
Okay.
Eric Young versus Kevin Nash was announced tonight.
Yeah.
For real?
In a cage.
Shut up.
Eric Young will be future endeavored. There's no way he's going to beat Kevin Nash.
No way.
There's no way.
No.
No chance.
No.
Zero.
No.
So why build the guy up for the last 3 weeks?
The big spot in the main event?
Yeah. Then all of a sudden, boom, he's going to get crushed in the cage match.
I don't know about this match. Do people care?
They'll care when Hall, Nash, and X-Pac come out together.
And that one guy.
You know what, though? Kevin Nash is a cool cat, so I'm sure
he's blonde again.
He's going to let my boy, Eric Young.
You know why he's blonde?
Why is he blonde?
Because he told
He's
Scott
ready to
Hall.
have fun?
He told Scott Hall that if he gets gear and wears gear, he will dye his hair blonde.
And what did Cal say before the pay-per-view?
Cal was pleased that Scott Alcohol is wearing ring clothes.
Yeah. What did he say? Dad, is Scott Hall going to wrestle in ring gear tonight?
Yeah. It's a shame when a 7-year-old has to ask that question.
Velvet Sky versus Angelina Love. Angelina has to have her hands tied behind her back, and then Velvet making it a I quit match.
Yep, that's the reaction they got.
Matt Morgan turns on yet another tag team partner going up against the Motor City Machine Guns. They win, yet he does not need Amazing Red after the match, does Matt Morgan.
All right.
Who's
I love
Amazing
Matt
Red?
Morgan. Matt Morgan is so funny and so great, and I love it because it's just it's old school. Like, he's convinced that what he's saying is fact.
Right.
It's just so funny, man. It's great.
He's been
Is that
on
why
this
you
program.
find me funny? Because even though I'm saying something apparently so wrong that I'm just that convinced that I'm right?
No,
I love Kelly Holcomb. I know he will start.
I like you because I watched a lot of All in the Family, and
you just like the name, right? Yeah.
The mean torso? Yeah. It's stuck, by the way, there, Rashi.
I see it stuck on your torso.
Thank you.
Rashi, you got here a little bit late. I
was born in 75, sorry.
No, I mean to the studio tonight. You weren't busy running over Abyss in a white Ford Taurus, were you?
Man, I can't fit no Ford Taurus.
Yeah, did you forget how well you fit in the back seat of that convertible you had in Phoenix?
Yeah,
that was a rib. I know,
it was
wasn't it?
functional. I know. Me and Dave in the back seat of a.
Well, no, we weren't together in the back seat.
Yeah.
All right.
You've already shared rooms together. And...
No, you were in the back. I was in the front seat.
Ooh.
It all felt like one seat. That's what there was. But here's the problem with that.
We got swoggled.
Did anybody care? Did anybody care, or should we have cared when they tried to show us who was driving the car? I mean, I really didn't care. It's like, all right.
Who was driving?
I don't know who they were trying to sell was driving. It looked like Desmond Wolfe, maybe?
Desmond Wolfe, yeah.
I mean,
here's the thing. Get a bigger car. Get a Cadillac or a Lincoln.
Or an Escalade or
whatever.
Humvee.
Don't, come on.
You know,
they used the Ford Taurus for real.
That's what it looked like.
It was a white Ford Taurus.
Or
not even a new one. The new ones are nice.
Or it was one of those hybrids. You know, I don't know.
So it was like a 93 Ford Taurus?
I mean, literally, a Bish should have survived that, and the car should have been messed up.
What was the show? Does anybody remember the show where they used Cornette's car? It was
on YouTube. It was the Dairy Queen segment.
Oh, yeah. One of the best
great
pieces of Cornette you can ever watch, and that's available in the video section at PWRshow.com. But no, they were doing a Street Fight or something in a parking lot, and somebody got body slammed on the hood of Cornette's Ford Taurus. Because, he doesn't fly. He drives everywhere.
And he does drive
everywhere.
He drove to Phoenix, right?
Yeah, man. Are you kidding me?
Stopped at JR's Barbecue on the way. Continuing talking about TNA
Impact. Did you see Kane knock out that hockey player? It's ridiculous.
Glenn
Kane.
No.
Different Kane. Oh. Well, they're just saying Kane on SportsCenter.
Focus. In a match that some in the Champisphere are calling drug money, it was Jeff Hardy versus Robert Roode.
What did you just
What?
Some people in the Champisphere are calling that match drug money.
Wow. He hasn't been convicted, people.
So you're a Hardy apologist?
No, I'm
just making sure.
He's not guilty right now.
Well, who said who was the drug and who was the money?
No one.
Dave just said it.
Just assume. There's a referee in there too,
Was it the Hefner boy?
I don't think it was Slick Johnson.
We talked about the Fireball fail earlier, and the final thing to talk about on TNA Impact from tonight, the Pope.
Go ahead.
It's out there, working with Hogan and Flair and everybody else.
I'm sorry, when the show ended, where was the Pope?
All the opening match guys
he had gotten beaten up. They were selling the injury.
They didn't show him to end the show.
All right, man. I'm about to have one more explosion.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rashi Brown.
You need to quit ignoring the fact that the dude is over and the dude is a top-tier talent.
Top tier? Are you serious?
Yes, he is. And the fact
Get
that
him some more water
he's
quick.
in
I know
the
it's hot
ring
here.
during this
top tier
session just signifies that he is.
He's the only guy not shown.
I don't care. Was he there?
What do you mean the only guy not shown?
What you're doing is listening to a
the only guy
conversation
that they
between
didn't show
Rocky
to
and
end the
Gabe
show.
Hero.
No, they did. They ended it with Hogan.
They ended it with Hogan staring down Team Flair in the ring.
Yeah, but they didn't show Team Flair.
They did show Team Flair. We saw
I thought it was
standing on the rope.
I thought it was just a shot of Hogan.
No.
Yeah, Flair was standing there. Well, they were blocking the Pope. It was a miscue.
Yeah. See, well, listen, it's nothing against the Pope. They're just not booking him the right way.
The Pope.
It's not.
It is.
They're not. They're not building things around him. They're not.
We'll see what happens
have
this
they
Sunday
done
at
right?
Lockdown. Now, you're not going to be on primetime this Friday night. Are you ready to give your prediction
in
the
AJ
main
Styles,
event and the headlining match at Lockdown?
The main event and the headlining match is Team Flair versus Team Hogan.
Is there such a thing as a double main event? Double headliner?
Of course.
No?
Of course. Not on this pay-per-view, there isn't. There is one headlining main event, and that is Hogan and RVD and Jeff Hardy and Jeff Jarrett and Abyss against Team Flair.
Who's going to win?
Team Hogan.
This is the award-winning.
Well, you know why? I have a hunch Sting is going to turn on Team Flair.
Again?
This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
This is Packers wide receiver Greg Jennings, and you're listening to 540 ESPN.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest Monday night in the history of professional wrestling. Welcome to WCW Monday Nitro.
Fail. Damian Shivani.
And just after that,
Where's your mustache, Damian?
Just after that, Shivani would have gone to sleep.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the biggest night in the history of professional wrestling. As David Hero and Rashida Skull Crusher Brown not even in the studio tonight, we've got an amazing program. Even though that one wasn't that good either.
That was horrible.
It was.
It was painfully bad.
Yep.
Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
82 degrees in here?
Yes, it is.
It's ridiculous.
Well, you know what?
It's an homage to the 82 Brewers.
Listen, the contract states it has to be around 72 degrees.
Around?
You
What's
still
the
haven't gotten a
definition
new
of
version,
around?
have you? We completely reworked your deal. You didn't get a Hemi deal.
What's the definition of around?
Like between 70 and 74, around 72.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying there's a 2-degree
Fudge
factor?
I feel that it's time for some hot news.
Ooh, hot news. I've heard about this segment.
Live from the PWR World News headquarters, it's Hot News with Damian Nelson, the man they call Meathead, Skullcrusher Rashi Brown, and David Tiberius Hero. This is Hot News.
Thank you, Fish. One thing, nobody's name but mine. I mean, I'm, the star, so.
It's Damian Nelson and 3 other hacks. This is Hot News.
Produced by man trying to give a job, buttering up.
Kurt Angle has stated publicly that he wants some time off and may do so after lockdown. Now, the question, gentlemen, how smart is this going into a major pay-per-view matchup?
Not very.
Not.
Hey, he's got a 24-year-old fiance at home right now. He's taking all the time off he needs.
Needs to cement that relationship?
They get boring after a while, too.
What?
Triple H is suffering from a reported neck injury. He hasn't been working very much, especially on the tour overseas right now. We do know that Ezekiel Jackson is going to be out 3 to 6 months to a knee injury that he suffered just recently on that same tour.
They couldn't get Triple H's bus on the plane.
Bus with Hummer?
He doesn't fly either.
No, Cadillac.
How does he not fly? He's on Vince's plane all the time going for Sunday brunch.
Oh, that plane ain't going across the pond.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but you just said he doesn't fly. So.
Well, not overseas.
Well, he's not swimming.
He's not there either, is he?
He did twice.
He swam the Atlantic twice.
Orlando Jordan has signed a long-term contract with TNA Wrestling. Excuse me. Orlando Jordan has announced that he has signed a long-term contract with
the
TNA
Dairy
Wrestling.
Farmers Association.
Yeah.
Got creepy.
There's a lot of heat out there over this one. People are a little confused as to why they were
they're not
released.
confused. No one likes it.
No, Orlando's confused.
They asking the question.
I knew there was high end.
Asking the question, how can you get rid of Consequences Creed, Daniels, and keep this guy on and sign this guy to a long-term deal?
No, but who knows the details of his long-term deal?
Right.
Well,
and
okay.
Again, he has announced it. TNA
But at the same token, this business has not been built on the best talent, the best workers, the best guys, blah, 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 blah. It's built on politics and sizzle and flavor of the month and what's hot right now.
Yep.
And he's got the...
You're talking about TNA, aren't you?
I'm talking about life. He's got the thing to strike the chord right now. So everybody else goes to the wayside. That's life.
Breaking news coming in just before we went on the air, actually, reported by the Los Angeles Times that WWE SmackDown is getting a new home. WWE SmackDown moving off of My Network TV. It was the only piece of original programming on that network.
Well, they're not coming on My Network TV.
They are not going to is your network ROH? I'm sorry, HDNet?
No, it's just called My Network.
You got your own little network?
Yeah.
There was a joke there with
the ABAB network.
Yeah.
That is, they are going to be moving to Sci-Fi, it looks like, starting in the fall. SmackDown moving to cable, putting pretty much all WWE programming, aside from Superstars, under the NBC Universal umbrella.
But the only thing with Superstars, though, it's only local and on regular TV in Chicago. The rest of the time, it's on cable. The rest of the country.
Well, WGN's a cable network.
That's what I'm saying. You said with the exception of Superstars.
Which is not NBC Universal.
No, you said it on cable.
Well, at least they moved SmackDown.
That's what I said.
Right category, sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've diversified their programming
I'm not very
a little bit.
pleased about this whole thing, by the way.
How does it affect your life?
Oh, it affects
It
my life.
affects them.
Believe me.
It is an interesting move, one that could prove to be healthy for WWE.
And Jag Swagger is spearheading the whole thing. Our SmackDown World Champion.
Yours.
All the details and more information on that, including the dollars behind the deal with SmackDown moving to Sci-Fi starting in the fall at pwrshow.com right now. Other headlines right now on pwrshow.com that you can check out. More details on what we talked about earlier, those injuries to Triple H and Ezekiel Jackson. You can get all that in the wrestling news section of pwrshow.com. Also, full list of, more information on Sheamus working as a good guy, an update on Cody Rhodes, X Division match at Lockdown, some comments from Santino Marella on Santina, an update on Bret Hart, and so much more, including SummerSlam news right now at pwrshow.com in the wrestling news section.
Yeah.
Let's go to the poll results
you know
from
what?
pwrshow.com and see who has the better show on Monday nights at this point.
I didn't thank you either, by the way, did I?
What did I do now?
You know, just how on Friday you follow Friday a certain individual with my name on it. Yeah. Thanks, pal.
We have an ongoing poll.
Tell the people what you did, funny haha guy. You follow Fridays, the Pope, and me on, he tweets on the same tweet.
I still don't see what's wrong with it.
Stir up some drama. Hilarious.
And maybe I did.
You did. That was very wrestler-like of you.
It was a rib.
Yeah.
Then it worked. Who has the better show on Monday nights? Right now, the voting between the wrestling universe out there shows the following. TNA Impact in the lead, 54.1% of the votes, and WWE RAW with 45.9% of the votes. This poll has been ongoing since March 8th and continues, so you can join the thousands of people who have voted already on it, and we'll see what happens over the course of this war.
When does it end? When's the
it doesn't have an end date at this point.
Okay. I was just wondering, thinking out loud, outside the box, just wondering, what we had going on there.
And another thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rashi Brown.
That's old now.
I know.
It's like hurting my ears when you say that.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What gives TNA the right to move to 7 o'clock, same time
Central.
that Ring of Honor is on HDNet?
They want to go head-to-head with Ring of Honor now.
Head-to-head? Are you
It's a three-way war. It's like
they don't want to go head-to-head. I'll put any show against any of their shows and give it to the people. 99 out of 100 times they'll enjoy ours.
This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. I'm drawing a blank.
Really?
Who is this?
This is Owen Hart.
Oh, no. Enough. Time for a change. I'm not a nugget.
Oh, King of Hearts.
Okay.
Really?
This is when he had the Slammies, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or when he had the great cast. Do you remember when he was wearing that cast for so long? I've got a great cast. He said it in every promo.
No, I don't remember.
Great. What kind of wrestling historian are you? This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN at ESPN.
Yeah, where's the
live.
Italian guy? He's the historian.
A couple of hot topics right now at pwrshow.com in the forum. No more crime time, it says. Reference the breakup between JTG and Shad. Looks like it was a thread started by Praz in the forum at pwrshow.com. Some interesting conversation about Goldberg and WrestleMania 27. Goldberg saying he's got one more match in him, and he wouldn't mind doing it at WrestleMania. That started by Cole Martinez, 123. And a very, very lengthy discussion on the quote-unquote mistakes TNA are making, posted by Woodenfield. All those available right now in the forum at pwrshow.com, where there is some very good, very intense, and very passionate wrestling discussion.
Who does Goldberg work at WrestleMania?
Always going on.
The only one that he could have ever worked was Austin.
Triple H.
They've done that. Jericho.
Scott
Did that
Steiner, he's going to be inducted too.
Yeah, there you go. That's what they want to see. Yeah. You want to see wrestling, though. Friday night. Rowdy Piper Day.
The Rowdy Scott.
How great was Rowdy Piper last week right here on this very program?
He was tremendous.
He lucky.
And he was just being Roddy.
He talked
None
about
of that was
the
pre-planned.
Bad News Brown match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
He said it was a misunderstanding.
He was representing everybody, right?
Yeah. No, you got.
I wasn't even here. Did he really?
You got to
say
listen. We did.
No.
That was hot news. We talked about. He gave some interesting backstory as to how that all happened.
He even told us how the paint never washed off.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And how he's on the plane flying home with Mickey Mouse under his arm, first class. Yeah.
Mickey might have been hot about it.
Yeah, I would have been hot about it too.
There's a question I wanted to ask Mr. Piper. I'll ask this weekend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to ask him?
Can I ask here?
Sure.
All right. You know, a couple of people wrote books. We all read books. You know how Flair threw Piper under the bus, saying he got paid in cocaine in Puerto Rico, but Flair got paid in money. Yeah, right. Come on. But how do you feel about being outed in a book, but then you, protect guys in your book? That's the question I'm going to ask, and I'll have an answer for you guys next week.
Oh, that'll be hot news.
That's Great Lakes Championship Wrestling this Friday and Saturday night. Get tickets now at BlizzardBrawl.com. BlizzardBrawl.com for those tickets. We're going to have, we've announced an interactive marathon starting later this week. You can get all the details at PWRshow.com. Brand new episodes of the Pro Wrestling Report Interactive, answering your emails, your tweets, and all that stuff in exclusive episodes with the lovely and talented Linda Kay coming up at PWRshow.com and on all of our media networks. Speaking of our media networks, did you guys know that the Pro Wrestling Report TV is available on TiVo?
I heard a rumor about that.
No, it's there.
That's pretty awesome.
It is indeed awesome, much like The Miz.
I knew that.
We'll preview TNA's Lockdown pay-per-view on this Friday's episode of PWR Prime Time.
I already told you the winners.
Who's the winner?
You didn't pick
Styles.
a match. You said AJ's going to win?
Oh, AJ Styles.
We're going to be back again next Monday
Mr.
night
Anderson.
with a brand new edition of the Pro Wrestling Report here on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you to all of our callers. Thank you to our guest, Traci Brooks. We'll see you again next Monday night live on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.